Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullahu khaira. Let's go ahead and get started here. So we're on question 45 in Bahjat An-NaDHar in questions and answers about, we're in the summary of obligatory knowledge. And question 45 is speak about hellfire. So my answer for this is to say, it is obligatory to believe in hellfire. And it is a place that Allah has created to torture blasphemers and sinful Muslims. Now, I could say that much. Stop there. And then if someone wants to follow up and ask for more, then I'll let them follow up. Or I could say more. But let's see what the answer is here. This one says, answer, one must believe in hellfire. Yes, Jahannam. So that's one name for it. Jahannam is one name for it. An-Nar is another name for it. One must believe in hellfire that is already created. This part is important. Presently existing. Already created means presently existing. One must believe in hellfire, that it is presently existing and that it exists now. So that's the same thing twice. That it is already created and that it exists now. So it's being emphatic. But what is it though? So, yeah. Usually you want to define something, you're going to start with what it is. So, it's a place that Allah created to torture blasphemers and sinful Muslims. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 24, أُعِدَّتْ لِلْكَافِرِينَ. It was prepared for the disbelievers. Meaning, it's presently existing, because you don't say about something that doesn't exist that it was prepared. It is the strongest and most immense fire that Allah created. Yes, correct. But hellfire is not just fire only. It's a place, it's a realm. Jahannam. The whole earth can fit in there, and the sun and the moon. And there's more than just fire in there. There are angels in there. There are creatures in there, animals in there. There are plants in there, and other things. It exists under the seventh earth, presently. But in the afterlife, there won't be 7 earths remaining. When the angel blows his horn, the first time, heavens and earth will shatter into pieces. Everything in heavens and earth, all of heavens and earth. So what's not going to shatter? Paradise won't shatter because it's above the 7 heavens. And hellfire won't shatter because it is below the 7th earth. Everything in between will shatter into pieces. On resurrection day, Allah will bring the earth back together again, bring the people out of their graves, and judge them on the earth. That's going to be judgment day. And then the people will be processed into paradise and hellfire. Brother Hamza, barakallahu feek. Good to see you, bro. So it's under the 7th earth now. Hellfire will last everlastingly without an end. Yes, very important. It's already created. Yes. It is presently existing. It will exist everlastingly. The answerer says here, Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Ahzab, verses 64 and 65, Inna Allah la'ala al-kafirina wa a'adda lahum sa'ira. خالدين فيها أبدا لا يجدون وليا ولا نصيرا. It means, indeed, Allah has cursed the disbelievers. Cursed them means damned them, banished them from goodness. وَأَعَدَّ لَهُمْ سَعِيرًا, and He has prepared for them hellfire. Here, yes, correct. That's the tafsir of Sa'ira here, hellfire. Literal translation would be an inferno. He has prepared for them an inferno. That means flame upon flame. Khalidina fiha abada, abiding therein forever. Yes. La yajiduna waliyan wala nasira. Not finding therein a protector nor a helper. A wali, a supporter, a nasir, a defender. That's the end of this answer without giving clear definition of what it is. Yani, the Shaykh, he did define hellfire. When I said hellfire is a place that Allah has created to torture blasphemers and sinful Muslims, that's what the Shaykh says, rahimahullah. So I'd say the actual uh, essence of what hellfire is missing from the answer here. Now we could keep on moving, but if we want, we can just say a few more details. How deep is hellfire? 70 years deep. What color are its flames? Pitch black. Any special features about hellfire? There's a valley in there. The valley starts at 40 years deep and goes down to the bottom. No Muslim enters this valley. What else? There's a cold section. Hellfire has a cold section. It's called Zamharir. Zamharir. It's so cold there that it burns. Yeah. And many other things. If you have a question, feel free. Also, this answer doesn't mention that believers will be tortured temporarily and blasphemers will be tortured forever. I think that's important detail. Believers don't go to the bottom of hell. That's the meaning of that they don't enter this valley. The name of this valley is Al-Wail. The people in there, Allah will make their bodies massive. One molar is as big as a mountain. The distance between the shoulders is a 3-day walking distance. That's so big. 3 days walking. How long does it take you to drive for 3 days? How long does it take to drive a 3-day walking distance? Many hours. Subhanallah. Or many hours, yani. Maybe not many hours if you're driving really fast, but like an hour or more. If you're driving really fast, you can drive a 3-day walking distance, maybe 2 hours, for example, or less. Have I heard that Jahannam is a valley by itself? No, I didn't. A valley being a wadi. I didn't hear that the entire hell is a wadi. And I'm not denying it. I'm just answering your question. I didn't hear that. But it's a pit or an abyss. That's taken from its name in the first place. Jahannam. Jahannam comes from the word Jahannam. Jahannam. A Jahannam is a deep well. All right, the author says, speak about the bridge. My answer is, yeah, I can write that for you. Jihnam. That's Jihnam. That's a deep well. Also, when I say hellfire is a pit or an abyss, also because it's a hawiyah. That's from Surah Al-Qari'ah. The hawiyah means it's a pit or an abyss, yani very deep hole. Hawiyah has 7 gates. Each gate accesses a segment of hell. There's bushes in there. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There's flies in there, scorpions, snakes, and Allah knows what else is in there. Yani imagine if the whole world was on fire right now. Like everything. If everything right now is on fire, that would be very, very horrible. The author says, speak about the bridge. My answer for that is to say, it is obligatory to believe that there is a bridge that the people have to cross on Judgment Day. You said walking a 3-day distance is like walking from New York City to Baltimore. Allahu Akbar. That's 3 days. Subhanallah. That's very far though. Yani, you can see that on the map. So you look at a map, you'll see from New York to Baltimore. Now imagine a person, his shoulders from here to there. Just his shoulders. And hellfire will be packed with those. It's crowded in there. Miserable. They're miserable. On fire. Bickering with each other. Question, paradise is bigger in size than hell, correct? Well, what I can say with full confidence is wider. Wider. Much, much, much wider. But I think bigger is right, though. It's more spacious. The Sheikh said thousands of times wider than hell. How long is it going to take to drive from New York to Baltimore, by the way? 4 or 5 hours? I think so. Okay. The bridge. 2 hours? From New York to Baltimore is only 2 hours? MashaAllah. Well, our brother here is a driver, so you're doing it now. Allahu Akbar. Tayyib. So the author says here, number 46, speak about the bridge. So I would say we are obligated to believe in a bridge that the people have to cross on Judgment Day. One end of that bridge will be on the reformed earth, and the other end of that bridge will be on the land of paradise. That's a lot of information there, just that what I said in my answer. When I say one end of it's going to be on the reformed earth, then that means I'm introducing to the one who's hearing me that the earth will be reformed without an introduction to that. I'm talking about the bridge, and I'm telling him about something that has its own story. One end of it will be on the reformed earth, and the other end of it will be on the land of paradise. And it goes over hell. Everyone will be made to come to this bridge, and when the non-believers attempt to cross the bridge, they all fall off And as for the believers, they cross the bridge in accordance with their deeds. Their ability to cross the bridge is by their deeds, not by their physical strength. So therefore, some people will walk over the bridge. Some of them will crawl over the bridge. Some of them will run over the bridge, and some of them will fly over the bridge. And for those who fly, some of them fly as fast as a bolt of lightning, and some of them fly as fast as the blink of an eye, which is so fast. That means it's basically just going to be on the other side. They're going to be on one side, and they're going to be on the other side. It's like a snap of the finger from one side to the other side. Subhanallah. Why would some crawl? Yeah, because the bridge is slippery. And the people are crossing in accordance with their deeds. So a person who has good deeds, then he would be able to, although the bridge is slippery, he would, for example, be able to step upon it without slipping. And then even to run across it without slipping because of his deeds. And someone else, he wouldn't have those good deeds, although he's a Muslim. And if he steps on there, he will slip. So he's on his hands and knees, and he's afraid he's going to fall in hell. And he's trying to cross this bridge. Ameen wa fiq. May Allah make us amongst those who cross the bridge in the blink of an eye. Ameen. That's my answer up till here. All of what I said now would be what I would say to answer this question for someone. Maybe with fewer words, though. So the answer here is the bridge, as-siratu, is the bridge that extends over hellfire to which the people will come. All the people, Muslims and non-Muslims, pious people and prophets, they all come to the bridge. That's the meaning of what came in the Quran, that everyone will come to hell because the bridge goes over hell. So in order to cross the bridge, you have to go towards hell. Then you cross the bridge over hell and you'll make it safely or not. And they cross with speeds and ease proportional to their deeds. Yes. One end of the bridge is on the changed earth. I said reformed. And the other end is after hellfire towards paradise. I said on the land of paradise. Or landing of paradise, if you want. At that time, some of the believers do not step on the bridge. Rather, they will fly over it. Other believers will walk on it. Those who walk on the bridge are of two types. Some will fall into the hellfire, and the rest are saved. On the other hand, all the blasphemers will fall into hellfire at the beginning of the bridge. The answer continues. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Maryam, verse 71, وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا. That's the verse I was just telling you about. It means there is not one of you but shall come to it. Here, but that he shall come to it. There is not one of you but that he shall come to it. Yes. The approach is of two types. The approach which is coming to this bridge or coming towards hell. Here, this approach. Coming to cross the bridge above hellfire or coming to enter hellfire. Yes. Okay, that's fine answer for me. Any question here? The author says, speak about the basin. So we see here, I think by this point, most of these questions became commands. No, we mentioned that so many times, so I haven't been repeating it. Speak about, speak about, speak about. So I've just been waiting now for traditional question to reappear. So speak about the basin. My answer would be on Judgment Day, there is a basin or a lake filled with some water or liquid that is whiter than snow and sweeter than honey and more fragrant than musk. The believers drink from it before entering paradise. After drinking from this basin, they will never experience thirst again. And that will be after they cross the bridge. Once you cross the bridge, you are safe. Now you're safe, but you're not in paradise yet, but you're safe. Now, you might have been safe before that. Yeah, and you might have been, for example, a saint, a wali. ألا إن أولياء الله لا خوف عليهم. If you were a saint, you wouldn't have been afraid for any moment on Judgment Day. But now I'm just talking generally. So once you get across that bridge, now you are safe into hell. But you're not in paradise yet. Before you get into paradise, you need to drink from the basin. And the source of the water of this basin is the river of Kawthar that flows throughout paradise. I think I would mention this in my answer. The source of the water of this basin is the river of Kawthar that flows throughout paradise and empties out of paradise through a pipe that dumps into the basin. There are cups surrounding this basin, and the people drink from it before they enter paradise. And every prophet has his own basin for his nation. And Prophet Muhammad's basin is the largest because his nation is the largest. I think that's about what I would answer for this question. If there would be anything I would add to this, I would say, because I think it's interesting. As for the Muslims who come out of hell, burnt to a crisp, damaged, they will be submerged in the basin. Then Allah will revitalize them and restore their beauty for them. And then they enter paradise after that. Here's the answer in the book. Answer: the basin is a place in which Allah prepared a drink for the people of paradise to drink from before entering paradise. If I want to nitpick, I'd say to drink from, you don't need it there. The basin is a place in which Allah prepared a drink for the people of paradise before entering paradise, after which they will never feel thirsty again. Every prophet has a basin from which his nation drinks. The largest of the basins is that of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At the basin, there are goblets, drinking vessels, or cups if you want, as many as the stars of the sky. That's Prophet Muhammad's basin. Its water comes from the water of paradise. Okay, that's more summarized version of what I said, and that's good because briefer. You can ask a question if you want. Yani, and I'll give you an extra detail here. The people of the prophetic way differed about whether the basin is before the bridge or after the bridge. What's correct, according to our sheikh, is that it's after the bridge. Question 48. Speak about the intercession. Ash-shafa'ah. My answer is the intercession is amongst the events of Judgment Day. It is for some of the slaves of Allah to seek from Allah to forgive others. Prophets, angels, practicing scholars, martyrs, saints, prepubescent children, meaning people who died as prepubescent children in the world, and then they are resurrected. Don't forget, you come back to life the way you died. And whomever else Allah willed, they make intercession, they intercede for others with permission to do so. No one can do it without permission. No prophet, no angel, and no one else can intercede for anyone without permission to do so. Because of the intercession, Allah will forgive sinful Muslims who deserve torture and admit them into paradise without any torture, or forgive them before receiving all of the torture they deserve. That's my answer. It says here, answer, the intercession is defined as asking for good things from someone for others. Yes, and I kind of said that. But this one is just more direct, straightforward way of saying that. It is exclusively for the Muslims. That's very important. I missed that in my answer. Only for Muslims. The prophets intercede, period. Likewise, the scholars, martyrs, and angels intercede. Okay. I'm not sure why this is its own sentence here. It's possible to bring all those two together. The prophets intercede as well as scholars, martyrs, and angels, for example. And then remove the second mentioning of intercede. Also, I want to draw your attention to something here. See, this word intercession is capitalized. Okay. Here, the word prophets is not capitalized. I think they slipped there and wanted to, because they capitalized it here. Basin is capitalized. Paradise is capitalized. Yeah, hellfire. But then other things are not capitalized, like surah. And some other things. If you scan through this, not just this one, and others, other literature we have, you'll find these inconsistencies. So I have a stance, just from my own experience now. My default position is small letters, except for some things. Muslim, yeah, that's going to be a big M. Prophet's going to be a big P. And some other things depends. But anyway, let me keep moving. The answerer says, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Shafa'ati li ahli al-kaba'iri min ummati. Rawahu al-hakim wa sahhaha. So the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, my intercession will be for those of my people who have committed major sins. Okay. Narrated and authenticated by Al-Hakim. And this, for example, this Al here, it bothers me when that one is small a for someone's name, but that's what most people do. It bothers me because you're not supposed to have small letter. How is small letters going to start someone's name? How the first letter of someone's name is going to be a small letter? That irks me. So anyway, Shafa'ati, my intercession li ahli al-kaba'ir will be for those of my people. So very literally, my intercession is for the people of major sins from my nation. My intercession is for the people of major sins from my nation. Narrated by Al-Hakim and authenticated by him. No intercession is granted for the blasphemers on the day of judgment. Yes, that's emphasis here because it already says right here. It is exclusively for Muslims. So there's not a need to say this here, but it's not harmful to say it. That would be a case of stating what's implied. When you say explicitly it's exclusively for Muslims, then you are implying that it does not apply to non-Muslims. So to come then and say that it will not be for non-Muslims would be to state what's understood. Had we not stated this, we would have just been left with something that we understand. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 28, وَلَا يَشْفَعُونَ إِلَّا لِمَنِ ارْتَضَى. The verse means, and they cannot intercede except for whom he approves. Okay. Yes. That's correct answer. Now, an extra detail for you is that there's a major event of Judgment Day, which is called Ash-Shafa'atul Uzma, the greater or major intercession. The greater or major intercession. That is when the sun comes close to the heads of the slaves of God and they suffer under the heat of the sun, and then they go to Adam seeking his intercession, and he forwards them to Noah, who forwards them to Abraham, who forwards them to Moses, who forwards them to Jesus, who forwards them to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wasallam will intercede. And because of his intercession, a great body of Muslims will be spared from the torture of Allah, Muslims from his nation and from other nations. So that is an event of Judgment Day in itself, the greater intercession. Now the next question is, speak about paradise. So why don't we stop here? It looks like the answer is long too. Yeah. Then we'll take our time with that next week, inshallah. So we're stopping at question 48. Any question that I can answer for you?
Once come out from the hellfire, be dipped into the basin. So there's no need at all for them to drink from that?
Can you say that again, please?
Once Muslims who come from out of hellfire,
yeah.
Once they get dipped into the basin, there's no more need for them to drink from the basin.
I haven't heard about that. That the ones who get dipped in, do they also drink? I haven't heard about it.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك